The multiplayer reveal trailer for Black Ops 7 finally dropped, so let's just hop right into it. I am so excited for this. What do we got? What do we got? Actual in-game footage. Let's go, baby.
They know we're here. Go out.
Oh, they got Fiend for it? Let's go. I don't know if that's copyright safe. I guarantee it isn't, but fuck it. I don't make any money anyways. Yeah, we did see that in the leaks. Beautiful weapon specs, beautiful maps, dude. This color palette. Inject that Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3 color palette in my veins, bro. YouTubes. Did he just pull an akimbo pistol out of his ass? Fuck my life. Fire shotguns. Dog we've seen.
Good work.
Nice. Faster sniper ADS than in the other clip they showed. Ooh, the overclocks. Cluster grenade. VTOL. The millimeter scanner returns.
Enemy Rhino sighted.
That thing is crazy. Overclocks. You can share weapon builds. Ooh, I'm gonna have to slow down on that.
We're securing the objective.
Zipline. I'm assuming this is the 20v20. If it's showing zip lines. What are those? EMP grenade.
Stay on task.
Nice. You've seen this map. Why did he just smack his hand? There's nothing in it. You guys see that? It's like he was hitting his hand to make him drop a weapon or something, but there was nothing in his hand. Ooh, all the maps.
Legion on station. Weapons free.
That was a crispy looking.
Legion inbound.
You got swarms. Swarms are returning. Ooh, Lord. Ooh, the Arc Raiders pre-order trailer dropped. I haven't seen that yet. I know this is a Call of Duty video, but I want to click on it. All right, let's go back to the beginning. Mute it up real quick. See what we can pull out of here. There was a lot at the end that I caught and was trying to say, but then something else came. So let's just move forward, and I'll get to it when I get to it. But the wall jump right there, sick use of it. Completely skipped the stairs. I'm sure people aren't. Especially if they're like holding that angle, looking at the stairs. If you jump up like that, you can catch people by surprise. But we see the hologram thing. We had seen that in one of the other trailers. He comes behind, or she comes behind. Sticks a Semtex to him and kicks him away, which is new this year. We did see it in the leaks back in like season 3 or 4 or whatever. But it's nice, like officially seeing it. These weapon inspects. Hold on. So we've seen this shotgun a bunch. Looks super crispy. This SMG, I believe this is the one that Takeo was holding back in the zombies intro cinematic that we saw like last Tuesday, a week ago. Go forward a bit. And then we have this weapon, which I'm not entirely sure what this is. I thought this was a Peacekeeper. I thought the Peacekeeper had like the angled magwell, but this is not the Peacekeeper. Because we see that the different build on it later. Ooh. M8A1, baby. M8A1. And then we got... This is another gun with an angled magwell. Crispy iron sights. Loving the way the map... What is that? Loving the way this map looks. And then we have this, which maybe like a marksman rifle or something. It's just something about the charge handle on the right that screams marksman rifle. It has such a short barrel though. Maybe it's an AR. And then the VS Recon, the snow. Is this the VS Recon? This might not be the VS Recon. The barrel is very different. Yeah, I think this is a different sniper. Yeah, and then here we have the Peacekeeper MK1 with the Prestige attachment. So I believe it's after Weapon Prestige 1 you unlock a Prestige attachment, since that's returning. And then it seems like it's, you know, standard gunsmith we've had for a while now. I want to look at that. Like a wall-mounted sentry gun or some shit. It doesn't look like it shoots at you or anything, so I don't... It's confusing. But another wall hop into a noob tube. Wait, hold on. I wanted to see... So he destroys two things here. I wanted to see what both of those were. Okay, so we have like some sort of drone. Destroys that. And then whatever that is. No idea what that is. But here, out of nowhere, just whips out an akimbo. What is that? Like is that what the prestige attachment is for this weapon? That's crazy. And then you have this character, kind of reminds me of Sparrow from Black Ops 3. I want to look at that aerial view real quick. This looks like a sick map. That boat reminds me of whatever that map is in Black Ops 6, because you have like the stairs that go down. In fact, I'm pretty sure this is the exact map. That strike map or whatever. So I wonder if this is a 20v20 map. And then here, this guy, I'm gonna mute it. Fuck my life. Reminds me of the arsenal machines in zombies. Whenever you get close to them, they has like a bunch of different voice lines. And some of the funniest ones are, he says, fuck my life. And then there's another one where he's like, slap my ass and call me Mabel. Dude, they're so funny. We have this statue. We saw this statue. It's of Savati Dumas from Black Ops 6. We see this in the outro trailer for Season 5 that they just dropped recently. These things. What the hell are these things? Because, like, the only thing that I know of that's like a vehicle that runs and explodes is the RCXD. This is not an RCXD, though. Unless this is what they look like in this game, but I don't think so. Shotgun blast, and I like the way that this map looks, like all the tubes and stuff. We have the dog. We'll potentially have the ability to pet the dog with this sniper ADS speed. Not bad. Not the greatest. Don't get me wrong. Not bad, though. And I believe this is the VS Recon, because this looks a lot more like the DSR, especially with the front, than that other sniper did. The barrel, there was a triple barrel on that thing. That definitely was this. That looks like the Cordite, like the PDW thing. And then we have the cluster grenade with the overclocks that has the tighter packing plus a mini grenade, as well as the other one that you could potentially get. Wall jump it up into here, so sick. The VTOL warship making a comeback. The millimeter scanner from Black Ops 2 making a return. So you can see like it pulses and will show people through walls. Super sick. We have, they call it the Rhino. Is that what they said? I need to unmute it if I want to hear.
Rhino sighted.
Rhino sighted?
Sighted. Enemy Rhino sighted.
Enemy Rhino. Definitely Australian. But yeah, the Rhino. I mean, this thing looks gnarly. It even has a finishing move that you see later. That is a hell of a dive back. More overclocks. We've already seen the overclocks for the dog. Here we go. I want to look at these attachments real quick. So we know that the Prestige attachment is a Counterforce C1 stock for the Peacekeeper. No Prestige attachment for the X9 Maverick. Oh, this is the gun that I said it might be a marksman rifle because of the charging handle on the other side. That barrel is a thick barrel. The Prestige attachment, the Renown Plus extended mag. This is the SMG that she was using in that clip right before the cluster mine. Like I said, look like the PDW or the Cordite. So the Prestige attachment is like a side mag, I guess. Like, you know how like on the PDW it would load from the top, like the P90. It's like a top loader with like the slab of a magazine, but it's just slapped on the side instead. It's kind of interesting. Oh, we do have a marksman rifle, the Warden 308. Yo, is that like a revolver marksman rifle? Where have we seen? It's reminding me of a weapon. I think it was in Black Ops 3, but I think it was in a crate and I never got it. But I'm pretty sure it also had like a revolver magazine. Still don't know what those things are. It's like a finishing move for the Rhino, which is crazy. Yeah, EMP grenade. You gotta go kill it. Shotgun dominance. Pick up another gun. Kill the person who came in. Another finishing move. Smack in the hand for no reason. Okay, so we got all the maps. We got Scar, Homestead, which we saw. Blackheart, which we've seen a lot of. Den, I don't remember seeing. Colossus, I don't remember seeing. Toshin, Flagship, Mission Tide, and I'm assuming Mission Edge. These are the two 20v20 maps. Retrieval, Paranoia. This is going to be from the campaign for sure. The Forge, we've seen this one, that bath in the middle of it, we've seen before. Exposure, I think there was a clip or two on there. Cortex, Imprint, and then the 3 returning Black Ops 2 maps. And then it looks like we get like a flash of every one of them. We got that one. We have Express, obviously. We have Extraction. Is that what this one was called? Very, very nice. The Hideout or whatever. So sick, man. This raid, obviously, with the hand cannon, hijacked, and then there they are. Oh, those look different. Yeah, those. It's not like a swarm of hunter-killer drones. These are like they look like the drones that were in that one shot with the 3-barreled sniper. We also got a blog post. I'm going to try and go through this as fast as possible. At this point, you already know how it is. I try to be fast. It never works. All right, Black Ops 7 multiplayer deep dive. The November 14th launch of Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is getting closer every day, and we're here to cover all the latest news in the weeks leading to release and beyond. For an expansive look at multiplayer, this is your first stop. Get more info on all 16 6v6 player maps, both 20v20 skirmish maps, the near future weaponry and loadout features on the way, progression systems, and more. Find out what will be available for play during the upcoming beta versus what's coming at launch. So we got Call of Duty Next and the beta coming up next week. Next is on the 30th, and then the beta will be on October 2nd, and it's like a full week-long thing instead of like 2 weekends, which is different. But I also kind of understand why they're doing it just a full week, because this is like the week before Battlefield drops. So if you do it 2 separate weekends, you're probably not going to get as many players. All right, in Overload, squads clash over one device that must be carried into enemy territory to score. Momentum swings sharply as the device changes hands, making every pickup, player, escort, and interception a pivotal moment in this all-new 6v6 mode. Okay, so this seems like it's basically Uplink, just slightly different. Black Ops 7 multiplayer delivers a full slate of fan favorites at beta and launch, from TDM, Domination, S&D to Kill Confirmed, Hardpoint, Gunfight Control, and more. Okay, so now we have Overload, which will be available at beta, W. We see the icon now. Bring the Overload device to the enemy zones to overload them. Fight for possession of the Overload device in this new push and pull 6v6 respawn mode that challenges teams to overload the enemy's control zones. Only one device spawns on the map at a time, so get in there and grab it before the other side can. The team in charge of the device must protect the carrier as they run toward one of the 2 designated zones near the enemy team's starting spawn, disrupt one of the zones in time to score a point and spawn a new device in the field. Okay, this also very, very much reminds me of Rift from Destiny. If you've ever played Destiny and you've ever played Rift, I mean, this sounds exactly like Rift, which was basically Uplink, except you couldn't throw the charge in Rift. You just had to carry it all the way to the zone and then dunk it. So this seems pretty much exactly like Rift. The position of the overload device is always indicated on the HUD and attack map, so be prepared for an intense tug of war as the device changes hands often throughout the match. Any player holding the item benefits from a personal radar to help detect nearby enemies attempting to steal it away. At halftime, teams switch sides, stick together, get to the device, and overload the enemy. Yeah, I mean, everything about this is exactly like Rift. Other announced modes, we have TDM, Domination, which will both be in the beta, S&D, which will not be at the beta, and then Kill Confirmed and Hardpoint, which will be at beta. And then also we have Gunfight returning, Kill Order returning, and Control returning, which also means that Control is probably still going to be the 4th competitive mode for CDL, which is kind of... I really don't like Control, I'll be honest. I would rather be Overload or Domination. Go back to Domination, honestly. So we also have face-off modes coming. We have Skirmish, which is the large-scale 20v20 objective-focused maps, dropping teams into expansive environments with enhanced means of traversal, including wingsuits, grappling hooks. So grappling hooks are coming to multiplayer. It's just solely going to be in the 2020 mode, or 20v20 mode. And vehicles all assisting you and your squad get to the next objective with time to spare and dominate the other team. Alright, and then we also have the training course, which will be in the beta, returning from Black Ops 6, a way to test new movement mechanics and stuff like that. Alright, so for the core 6v6 maps, we have Blackheart, which will be in the beta. We have Cortex, which will be in the beta, Exposure in the beta, Imprint in the beta, The Forge in the beta, and Toshin in the beta. And then we have these other maps that we saw earlier in the trailer. Oh, okay, so we're getting like little bits of info on each of these maps. Cool. So Blackheart is the one that we've seen in like a ton of the clips, especially this middle area, like showing off the wall bounce. It looks a lot more open than I thought it was going to be, honestly. It's a small-sized map. It'll be a drilling platform, extracting essential resources for the guild. Battle on and around the central drill, or duke it out on the barge around mineral containers, pumps, and massive nautical vehicles. Flank enemies around the diving bell, and watch your feet when jumping over the grinder pit. Nice. Next we have Cortex. Oh, this is the one, the shotgun clip was here with like the red tubes and shit. It is also small-sized and in the beta. A cliffside compound hides a clandestine laboratory conducting experimental research for the guild. Vat chambers hold subjects suspended in fluid. The area is supported by an adjoining autopsy and morgue. Lock down the underpass to control the heart of the map, or branch out to the narrow sky bridge overlooking the water. That sky bridge does look pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. That's probably going to be a camp fest out here, if I'm being honest. Alright, next we have a medium-sized map called Exposure, which will be in the beta. Deployed to an Australian outback installation at the eye of a vast solar array in the aftermath of a fierce tank assault on the plant. Except for an interior control room, most of the action is focused on the outer grounds here. Try your luck traversing the suspended guild crate right there. Jumping from here to the yellow ladder to climb even higher. Also expect a variety of towers, pumps, and storage units to provide ample cover throughout. Okay. I mean, yeah, it looks like a pretty, like, even though it's a medium sized and there's definitely like areas out here to see, it looks like most of the action is going to be like somewhat close range, like going from cover to cover, or I'm assuming like up on the roofs or whatever. Claim. Another medium-sized map called Imprint that will be in the beta. This one looks kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie. It reminds me of that MW3 map that was like snowy. Brave the frigid cold on this mid-sized robotics complex, producing drones and battle tanks for the guild. Explore the inner facility, branching through the center, and watch your step along the sheer drops, circling the perimeter where long-range combat dominates. Press the control panels by inclinator. By the inclinator. What the hell is an inclinator? For a lift through the snow. Okay, sorry, that word really threw me off. But yeah, it seems like it's going to be more of a long-range map with some like indoor stuff. There's also a Cold War map that was like kind of snowy, where like this part specifically reminds me a lot of that. But like these three, that it reminds me of that the MW3 map. All right, we have another medium-sized map called The Forge. We have seen this part before. I forget exactly which trailer it was. It might have just been like the Black Ops 7 reveal trailer that we saw this at, but we've seen this. We've also seen this statue was in the Season 5 outro trailer that they dropped the other day. Kind of weird timing. But visit the heart of research and development for the guild's latest lethal tech. Built on the harbor, the Forge welcomes visitors with a demo and product lobby showcasing the latest advancements in autonomous weapon design. Okay, so is this where Mason like entered the doors to the guild in the reveal trailer, like back in July, August, whenever that was? Navigate the two wings of the complex, joined by covered walkways in the central range where rotating walls circle a defense turret. Okay. There's another I think it was a Cold War map that this reminds me of. I wish I could remember the name of maps. All right, and another medium-sized one for the beta called Toshin, which is a monorail derailment has caused chaos downtown in a shopping district outside the station. Neon lights illuminate the streets at every turn, a guild advertisement outshining all the others. Battle through the park and market, look for upward vantage points across a central thoroughfare as you encounter new dangers at every road junction. You'll need street smarts and a fast trigger finger to conquer this urban map. Okay, so this seems another map where it's like it's medium sized. You'll have a lane or two, but a lot of it is going to be like up close urban type combat, which is nice. Next, we have another medium-sized map called Colossus. Oh, so we're not only getting info for the beta maps. We're getting info on all the maps. Okay, well, shit. So we have Colossus. Board the floating Colossus resort, listing further into the ocean after sustaining heavy damage. Take your chances by the atrium and bar or move through the maintenance rooms, baggage claim, and loading bay. Smell the fresh salt air across the main side of the wreckage, outside where a pair of wrecked helipads now sit in the debris-strewn ocean waters. Okay. This interior looks similar to, I forget what that it's a Black Ops 6 map that looks somewhat similar to this on the inside. I don't know. No clips from the trailer are like popping into my head. This right here, this might be a little niche, but the outside of this building right here reminds me a lot of a Tarkov map, the Ground Zero Tarkov map, where there's like a bunch of like destroyed buildings and stuff with like logos that look really similar to that, like sitting on the outside. Next we have the Den, which is another medium-sized map. I really like the look of this one. It reminds me a lot of what was that map in World at War? It was also in Vanguard. It was brought back in Vanguard. I can't remember the name of it. But it was similar, like Japanese temple style map. Just the aesthetic of it reminds me of that. If it was like modern, obviously. Looks really good. Travel to a sprawling Japanese guild compound set high over the surrounding locale. A large courtyard dominates the central area with branching pathways toward the driveway, helipad, and oppressive conference room. Engage in close combat in the dojo and challenge your agility traversing the damaged roof connecting the armory and garage. Very interesting. It's going to be really, really cool seeing like where exactly you can get to on maps with the wall hop, because I'm already looking like here, if you could just jump up off the wall and then land like up here so you can get on the roof. Because in the trailer that we saw when the guy was shooting the noob tube, you could see that he didn't jump like outwards, he just sort of jumped like upwards. So especially here, I wonder if you could jump and then go up onto here. Next we have a small sized map called Flagship. Explore the underside of a gigantic aircraft carrier docked for repairs, sparks flying overhead as mechanical arms weld sections of the hull. Battle through the underside of the ship where an ascender offers access up to the gantry, or move out from underneath the hulking mass and fight over the surrounding work site. Yeah, this looks pretty cool, honestly. Like, this also might be a niche reference, but this kind of reminds me of a level in Power Wash Simulator, where you have to power wash like a massive fishing boat. So like right here just reminds me of cleaning that fishing boat. All right, next we have Homestead. We did see some clips, like you were like running down here, and this is where the Rhino came down, and you were using the millimeter sight. This also reminds me of a map that was in, might have been Vanguard. It's either Vanguard or MW2. I remember you had to do just an absolute shit ton of long shots, and it was annoying as hell, but the map that looked like this in this game was really good, because like on this side of the building you could get on the roof, and then you could have a very straight shot, like essentially all the way down to where there was just like a wooded area, and it was a really good map for long shots. And that's like all I remember about that map. But that's the vibe that I'm getting, honestly. And dude, the lights look so nice. Witness the northern lights high over David Mason's Alaskan childhood home. Fight in the warmth of the cabin or brave the elements using the rocky terrain to flank enemies. Watch for occupants in the various outbuildings and dive into the frigid water to try and reposition out of sight. Okay, so you can go in the water. Nice. Ignoring hypothermia risks in favor of a surprise attack from below. I wonder if you actually have to, like, if you're actually going to potentially get hypothermia, like, in multiplayer. That'd be very interesting. Next we have Paranoia, which is another small-sized map. This definitely looks like it's going to be pulled straight from the campaign. There's something going on at the hospital, but is it all in your head? While half of the tiny map appears like a normal medical facility, the other half erupts into a psychedelic dreamscape. Objects floating upward where a red light shines through the broken ceiling. Hold on to your sanity or risk being administered for life. Okay. We have the first large-size map in Retrieval. A Guild stealth aircraft has crash-landed in the remote frozen tundra, leaving a heaping wreckage behind. Hike through the snow and all the meltwater flowing down the map, battling around the rugged outcroppings and within the crash site itself. An ice cavern provides opportunities for long shots, while underpasses and a discarded crate work as a stellar ambush points. Please don't give us just an absolute shitload of long shots in the camo grind. That has me nervous. I hate doing long shots in the camo grind. Alright, next we have Scar, which is a medium-sized map. Fighting breaks out in the rustic mountain village of Silverbrook, where quad tanks, military vehicles, and the latest in offensive equipment are parked within Old Frontier Hamlet with a general store, health clinic, the Old Bear restaurant, and a carpentry business. Fire down at targets from the motel balcony. Explore the commandeered post office as you traverse the immediate surroundings of this rural Alaskan outpost. Alright. I like the way it looks, but like with all these maps, we're just going to have to play them to know exactly how they're going to behave. And then we already know Expressed, we know Hijacked, we know Raid. There's going to be certain things tweaked to be able to like wall bounce and stuff, but we already know those, so let's skip them. We have the skirmish 20v20 maps, starting with Mission Edge. Take to the streets of Avalon's downtown district amidst towering buildings, fighting in and around upscale hotels and cafes, through underpasses, courtyards, and parks. Take the stairs or attach to ascenders to reach higher vantage points, or skip the climb altogether and stick to the outer roads. Commandeer a vehicle to outrun enemy snipers or beat them at their game by taking flight in a helicopter. Bring your squad along with you to fire from the passenger seats, or stay on the ground, moving from roof to roof, claiming zones and eventual victory. Alright, next we have the Mission Tide map. Deploy to the site of a large-scale military compound built on the coastal waters of Avalon. Fight and drive to the shore, up or around the buttress rocks toward the compound itself. Ascenders providing quick access over the outer fortifications of the surrounding and inner battlements, which feature corner towers providing incredible sightlines. What a sentence. Within the compound itself, explore the armory, mess hall, barracks, garage, buildings, and other structures, including ladders and staircase access for both vertical and ranged maneuvering. This looks pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. It's sort of giving me Warzone vibes, if I'm being honest. Like, maybe this is gonna be a POI in some Warzone map. There is still that Avalon map that we're yet to actually see. It's probably gonna be like in the end game campaign thing, but it would not surprise me if they like would repurpose that map for a Warzone map. All right, next let's hop into loadouts and equipment. We have overclocks, tacticals and lethals, field upgrades, and then we are going to get into wildcards and perks. All right, so loadouts. Loadouts determine the tools and abilities your operator brings into battle, including their weapons, equipment, field upgrade, perks, and other features. Players can customize and name up to 10 loadouts, which can be fine-tuned before and within the match. Within the match. Ensuring you've got exactly what you need for the combat situation at hand. So this looks pretty different. We're back to like the horizontal loadouts, I guess. But you have the assault rifle, the pistol, the flatline MK2 as your melee, which that looks like a grav spike, if I'm being honest. Field upgrade, which is an echo unit, don't really know what that is. EMP grenade, which is a tactical frag for your lethal, and then you have like your perks. And specialties are making a return. Interesting that there's no specialty for one of each perk. I was kind of hoping that there would be a thing to have one of each. Alright, next we got overclocks. New to Black Ops 7, players can now customize their tactical and lethal equipment field upgrades, and score streaks using the overclock system. Effective use of these individual loadout items will unlock up to 2 overclock abilities over time, providing a variety of benefits like a lower score cost for score streaks, decreased charge time for field upgrades, and extra lethality for your equipment. Select the overclock ability that works best for your playstyle and reap the rewards of even greater power. Check out the exact overclocks for individual equipment items later in this block. Okay, cool. So it is 2 and you only pick 1. Primary weapons, we have ARs, SMGs, shotguns, LMGs, marksman rifles, sniper rifles. Secondaries, we have pistols and launchers. No specials option at launch, but I'm sure specials will be coming throughout the content year. And then melee weapons, you'll have a dedicated melee weapon. I wonder if this is the only melee weapon. I mean, this looks like a graph spike, which is kind of crazy. But it says high damage, moderate attack speed. Surely this isn't going to be like an AoE. All right, tacticals. We have a stun, an EMP, a flashbang, a pinpoint grenade, a stim shot, a sight grenade, a hunter bot, smoke, and a decoy. So we've already seen the sight grenade. We already know what like all of these are. We don't know what a pinpoint or a hunter bot are. So let's look at those. A pinpoint grenade is a grenade that detects enemies within its range. Close enemies are shot with tracking devices which can be removed by victims. Okay, so this is like a combination of the snapshot grenades, and then I forget what the other one was called. I think it was an MW3. It might have been a field upgrade too, where like it was basically like a mine, and whenever you get near it, it would shoot out barbs that you would have to take out, but they would track you. So this looks like a combination of those two things. So the first overclock is the AI chip increases grenade lifetime and detection radius. And overclock 2 is a tagged enemies appear on allied maps. Ooh, that is very nice actually. And then the hunter bot. It is a personal defensive device that hovers near and homes in on enemy equipment, field upgrades, and score streaks for exploding on. Oh, very interesting. So it's almost like a hunter-killer drone, but specifically for equipment, field upgrades, and score streaks. And they don't provide any overclocks for that. I guess we can go back and look at overclocks for all the equipment too. So you have an increased stun duration on stun grenades, and also slows enemy move speed when stunned. Holy shit, this is going to be annoying, man. EMP for an increased radius and extra EMP burst when you cook it. Very interesting. For the flashbang, you have a wider full flash angle, so it's harder to counter by looking away, and it also adds ability to cook for additional detonations. Still seems kind of annoying. Stim shot, you can remove player debuffs with it. Ooh. Or you can add a speed boost like Warzone. I'm not gonna lie, that one, I'm already a stim shot crutch. That one's looking mighty tasty. And then the sight grenade that we've seen in the trailers, it increases the duration that enemies are affected, or the grenades released gas deals damage over time. Okay, so it like combines the sight grenade with like a gas grenade. Next we have lethals, which is the frag, the sticky grenade or Semtex, the cluster grenade from like Black Ops 4. We also saw that in the trailer. Combat X is returning the point turret, which I think that's what we saw on the wall. Very interested to see what that's going to be. A needle drone, which kind of looks like that I forget what it was called in MW3, but you would take it and you would just fly in a straight line. That's what that reminds me of. C4 and Molotov obviously returning. So overclocks for the frags, we have a high density explosive material improves lethality or increased throw distance, and cooking shows an arc indicator. Okay, so that takes, what was that perk called? Was it Grenadier that granted the arc indicator and also increased throw distance? It might have also been like a reset cook timer on it too. I don't remember, but I never really used that perk, but I mean, that's pretty much exactly what it did. The Semtex is a high density explosive material, improves lethality, and also adds ability to, you can cook the fuse on Semtexes, which I don't think you've ever been able to do before. I mean, to be fair, it had like a pretty short fuse anyway, so you didn't really need to cook it, but I wonder if that means it's going to have a higher a longer fuse now. The cluster grenade adds the ability to cook the fuse and an additional mini grenade. We saw these. It also said on this one that it was going to like tighten the radius, the impact radius. That's not what it says here. It just says additional mini grenade. So I wonder if they changed that. Combat axe, you have a faster raise speed or a farther and faster throw. That'll be interesting. The point turret is a small deployable sentry turret that automatically shoots at enemies, distracting and damaging them. Okay, so you just have like a mini sentry turret that'll just like pester people for you. I wonder how much damage it does. Surely it's not that much if it's a lethal. You can increase the rate of fire, and the orientation sensors allow turret to deploy on walls and ceiling. Okay, so yeah, that is what we saw that was sitting on the walls. The needle drone is a small flying drone that explodes on impact, toggles between auto or manual control. Interesting. So you can improve the lethality, or you can add the ability to boost the dart while flying in manual mode. So it's just like a straight up hunter-killer drone as your lethal. And then you also have the C4 Molotov, which we don't get to see the overclocks for. Alright, field upgrades, you have a soul pack, pretty standard. The drone pod, which looks like it'll probably be annoying. Trophy system, active camo, man. Oh no. I really hope that's not too annoying. The Echo unit, the Squad Link, the Scrambler, the Fear Trap, the Black Hat, and the Mute Field. Alright, I mean, these all look pretty standard except for like the drone pod and the Mute Field. Everything else I think we've seen before. So for the overclocks, we have, for the Assault Pack, we have a faster charge time and then additional score on eliminations. Wait, is it like additional score on eliminations after you've resupplied? Or just in general, you just get additional score all the time? Because that's pretty crazy. Next, you have the Drone Pod, which is a deployable device that launches aerial drones that seek out enemies and explode. So they can either launch much faster or leave a mini-map icon at each drone's detonation point. So you just get like a mini swarm as a field upgrade. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 6 drones as a field upgrade? Alright, I'm kind of scared. I'm kind of scared. Next we have the trophy system, which you can have a faster charge time or a +2 to the explosive charges. Both of those sound really nice, honestly. Active camo, become partially invisible for a short time. The fact that they said partially makes me a little hopeful that it's not going to be just AIDS to go against, but we'll see. Overclock 1, gunfire reveals you temporarily instead of ending it, so you can go back into cover. Or increased duration and faster charge time. So you get increased duration and faster charge time in a single overclock. Brother. Alright, Echo Unit is the holographic soldier decoy. It can capture and hold objectives too. Very interesting. So that kind of... Isn't that... I thought that's what the Squad Link does. So they like redid what the Squad Link does. Or sorry, I should clarify. The Squad Link, what the icon looks like, I forget what it was called in MW3, but they had a device that looked exactly like that, except you would throw it on points and it would like help you capture points or like hold points and stuff like that. It would act as another person. I don't remember if it was actually called the Squad Link or not, but it seems like they folded that functionality into the Echo unit, as well as like the decoy thing. So in Overclock 1, you have a hologram brightly flashes when enemies come near and stuns them. If I get stunned while I'm, getting tricked by one of these things, and I'm like walking up to do a finishing move or something, I'm gonna be pissed. Or the faster charge time. Next, you have the Squad Link, which is a deployed device that boosts score and improves effectiveness of allied operators and gadgets in the range. Expands coverage of the link for Overclock 1 or increases nearby allies' field upgrade recharge speed and earns score for the second one. There will also be a Fear Trap, a Black Hat, and a Mute Field, which the Mute Field, it reduces footstep volume, hiding you from minimaps and prevents you from being targeted by score streaks for a limited time. Okay. Alright, next let's get into the wild cards. We have Overkill, Prepper, High Roller, Fly Swatter, Tac Expert, Gunfighter, Perk Greed, Danger Close, and I think this is the first time Specialist has been in a Treyarch game. So let's look at, I forget, did they say that there were like overclocks for wild cards? I don't think there are. But we know what Gunfighter is, we know what Overkill is, we know what Perk Greed is. Why wouldn't they tell us what like Prepper is? We know what High Roller is. I don't think we know what, maybe we know what Fly Swatter is. Is Fly Swatter the one where you can like replace your melee with a launcher or something like that? Is that what that one is? I know High Roller is where you can take an additional streak. And then like Tech Expert, Danger Close, those are, you know, get extra lethals or tacticals or whatever. And then we have Specialist, replaces score streaks with 3 additional perks on top of the ones you normally choose. 4, 5, and 6 are earned like low-level score streaks, and then 200, 400, 600 score, and then you earn all remaining eligible perks during a match at 1200 score. I wonder if this is going to work in face-off maps, because you don't have score streaks in face-off maps, but these aren't, like, they act like score streaks, but they aren't score streaks, right? They're perks. So I'm interested to see if this is going to work in that game mode. My assumption is no, but it makes sense that it would. All right, next we are going to go into perks. So in perk slot 1, we're going to have, okay, they're bringing back like the Enforcer and Recon and stuff like that. Cool. So in perk slot 1, we're going to have Gung Ho, Dexterity, Lightweight, Cold-Blooded, Ghost, Ninja, Tech Mask, which is, okay, so this is the resistance to flash, concussion, and gas. Can't be EMP'd or hacked. Flak Jacket, and then Shadow is undetectable by enemy traps and mines. Right. We have that one already too. Next, in perk slot 2, we will have Scavenger, Assassin, Close Shave, Hunter's Instinct, Vigilance, Last Link, which means your explosive damage marks enemies on your mini-map. Grant this benefit to all allies. Earn score when they deal explosive damage. Very interesting. Okay. We have Engineer, we have Fast Hands, we have Gearhead. And then in perk 3, seems like this is going to be like the movement slot. And then for perk 3, we have Tac Sprint, which enables Tac Sprint, obviously, because thankfully Tac Sprint is not the base movement anymore. We have Bankroll returning, Bruiser returning, Looper, which will give you the ability to loop score streaks. Vendetta, which means it will mark your killer's last known position, get bonus score for eliminating that enemy. I think this one we already have. I don't think I've ever used it, but that sounds familiar at least. Tracker, Quartermaster, Charge Link, which means your field upgrade charge is faster, and you give it to all allies, and then you earn score when they use their field upgrades. Nice. Okay, it's nice seeing that there's like team-based perks too. And then Guardian, which means faster healing while captured and holding objectives, and then revive down teammates faster, which is just quick fix essentially. And then we have the combat specialties returning, but now we have hybrids. So let's look at those real quick. So for the hybrid specialty Tactician, which is red and green perks, it is a support and offense hybrid. When you earn assists, earn bonus score from bullet elims for 10 seconds. That's pretty nice actually. I don't know that I ever use red and green. Usually I'm using red and blue. Which I totally skipped that one. The Scout, which is red and blue. Offense and stealth hybrid. When you get a bullet elim, stay completely hidden from enemy minimaps for 5 seconds. Additional elims during this period reset the timer. Wow. I wonder how this works for perk greed. Because like whenever I'm using perk greed, I'm usually using 3 reds for the Enforcer specialty perk, and then I throw on Ninja at the end. So my assumption is that whatever 3 perks you have like on your actual bar will account for your specialty perk, and then whatever you have for perk greed like won't count towards it. Or like if you have 3 of a perk, it'll give you that Scout specialty no matter if you have a different one for perk greed. Those are like the 2 options that immediately come to mind. Next you have the hybrid specialty operative, which is blue and green perks. Stealth and support hybrid, earn field upgrade charge from stealthy elims. Suppressed weapons, melee elims, and elims while out of line of sight, and other cases count as stealth elims. Okay, so you just get faster field upgrade charge. That I could see that being pretty useful, honestly. Now we have the core specialty perks, which we already know what all these are, but just see this one's the same blue. Okay, so this one seems interesting. So before, how the recon one worked, you could on respawn you would see all enemies through the walls. Now it says see the direction of the closest enemy on the minimap, so you don't see people through walls on spawn anymore, which thank goodness, that was so annoying. And then you also have the edge of your HUD pulses for enemies outside your view and leave no death skulls, which I believe was already the case. And then strategist for the all greens, I believe this is the same. This is definitely the one that I used the least. I used it a lot in the beta, actually, like a ton in the beta. But then when the game actually came out, I just loved the buff to movement speed and health regen from Enforcer. And then I knew of Recon because of how annoying that shit was. But as far as I remember, this is pretty much the same too. Alright, next we are diving into the weapons detail and score streaks. Below we've listed out the various weapon classes with descriptions for those you'll be utilizing in the upcoming beta. Okay, so they're just giving us all the beta guns. Dope. So we have ARs, the M15 Mod 0, which is an adaptable full auto AR combining well-rounded damage, range, and handling for a weapon that performs admirably across a variety of combat scenarios. So this is like the M4 platform that I mentioned the other day. It seems like just your standard AR. We have the MXR-17. So the MXR-17 is a full auto AR with excellent accuracy and range, offset by its more modest mobility and rate of fire. Alright, and then the Peacekeeper, it's a full auto AR delivering exceptional mobility and handling for its class, but at the cost of high recoil and limited range. Alright, so it's like an SMG hybrid almost. And then expect 3 additional ARs to use at the launch. Alright, next we got the SMGs. We have the Graz 45K, which is a versatile full auto SMG offering a solid balance of CQB power, handling, and recoil. Alright. This almost reminds me of the Kuda, if I'm being honest. Something about it just screams Kuda to me. The sights are way different. It doesn't really look that much like an MP5, which I know the Kuda is, but I don't know, there's just something about it. The Dravik 45, which is a full auto SMG, highly stable and effective at longer ranges, but with less raw CQB power. Is this the one that we saw had like the side mag thing for its like prestige attachment? Because I'm looking at this thing and like, is that the magazine? So is it like a futuristic Bison? And then finally we have the Razor 9mm, which is a full auto SMG with an extreme rate of fire, but limited range and lower or slower handling. So I hear Razor 9mm, that immediately brings to mind like the Razorback, but I don't think this looks like the Razorback at all. So maybe a tad bit. You could stretch it, maybe, I don't know. And then there'll be 3 more SMGs at launch. I'm really hoping that one of these, that like, the same thing doesn't happen as last year where there was one SMG that just dominated the beta and then it also dominated the main game and it dominated the CDL, and I'm really hoping that they do a better job of like balancing those weapons. Alright, shotguns, we have the M10 Breacher, which is the pump action. You can hold the trigger to improve hip and ADS spread for a tighter pellet spray. That's interesting. And then the Echo 12, it's a rechambering double barrel shotgun. Fires 2 semi-automatic shots between rechambers. Great range and high damage potential with back-to-back shots. Okay, so it's a lot like the doof is what it sounds like. And then there will be one more shotgun. Alright, LMGs, we have the MK78, the full auto LMG. Great damage and a high ammo count, limited by slower mobility and handling. This kind of vaguely reminds me of like the Dredge 48 or whatever. I loved that SMG, man. Oh, okay, so the M8 is a marksman rifle. Interesting. It's a 4-round burst marksman rifle with very high damage and extremely fast rate of fire within the burst, balanced by moderate burst cooldown. Very interesting. Alright. And then there'll be 2 additional marksman rifles at launch. And finally we have the sniper, the VS Recon. It's a bolt action sniper with a quick rechamber and moderate recoil and stability. And then we have the XR3 Ion, which is a 3-round burst sniper with high power and low recoil, but slower handling and a short pre-fire delay. Okay, I was wondering if they were ever going to bring a burst sniper rifle back. after that one that was in Black Ops 3, the PO6, which, I mean, it's a bullpup sniper like this one. The PO6 is a lot more bulky or like stocky. It also, this one has like 3 distinct barrels on it, which the PO6 did not have. It was a single barrel, which now seeing this makes me worried that like the spread on the 3 shots is going to be really annoying to try and hit. And then there will be 1 additional sniper rifle at the launch of Black Ops 7. All right. Next, we got the pistols, the Jaeger 45, which is a semi-auto pistol, a reliable sidearm with a very fast fire rate and low recoil. We have the Coda 9, which is a full auto pistol with high damage and rate of fire offset by strong recoil and a shorter effective range. So this is the one that I think myself and many have been saying is like the precursor to the Cap 40, and then there'll be an additional pistol at the launch. Okay, launchers. This launcher looks so cool, man. The Arc M1, which is a charge launcher. You will hold the trigger to charge up a devastating energy beam that can pierce through enemies. Deals high damage to vehicles and score streaks. There'll be an additional launcher at launch. Okay, sick. And then finally, the melee weapons. We have the Flatline MK2. It's a melee weapon with high damage and moderate attack speed. That's all the information. Dude, like, this is a grav spike. Please give us information that this is or is not the precursor to the grav spikes, because this is exactly what that looks like. And then there's going to be an additional melee at launch. All right, well, the gunsmith, I mean, it doesn't look like this is anything new. We'll have camos, reticles, accessories, decals, stickers. Pretty standard. Weapon build sharing we know about. Firing range will be returning. Cool. You can access gunsmith and all your loadouts within the firing range in multiplayer and import weapon build codes to try out other players' creations. Sick. Okay, that's a very nice quality of life change. Score streaks now. We have the Scout Pulse, which will be in beta. Okay, we got more overclocks. So you can have a lower score cost, or radar ping shows directional arrows instead of red dots. Ooh, so you can get like a pocket harp with this thing. Unless it's still just like a ping. I mean, it does say it's a radar ping that will show directional arrows. So it's not like a harp where you can actually see them move in real time, is what I'm assuming. But still, having those directional arrows, very nice. The RCXD, yeah, this RCXD looks very different to those little drones. I have no idea what those were, but obviously they were not the RCXD. Increased resistance to enemy gunfire, or see target indicators on occluded enemies in medium range. So does this mean you can like see people through walls or something? I'll be honest, I don't know what the hell occluded means. So hide or obscure from prominence or view. Okay, so yeah, like hidden enemies, you can see target indicators on them. Nice. UAV, it will either counters the first lock-on missile with the flare and increases bullet resistance or a lower score cost. The Skewer, it's a fire and forget air-to-ground projectile for precision elims. Bladed design minimizes collateral damage. So it targets higher priority enemies when possible or has increased velocity. So this reminds me, there was a score streak in, I think it was MW2, it might have been MW3. It was similar, but it was like, it was a fire and forget, but it was like a napalm strike almost. That shit was annoying as fuck, because no matter what you did, you couldn't escape it. It would always target you. Next we have a care package, so you can re-roll it one time, or a lower score cost. Probably always gonna run the re-roll one, honestly, if I ever use it. I don't use care packages for real, but counter UAV counters the first missile with increased bullet resistance and a lower score cost. The LG, what the hell? The LGM, it's a continuous bombardment of explosive shells. Okay, so this is a mortar crew or whatever. It can either rain down extra projectiles or marks a second target location with a reduced payload per zone. My goodness, that thing might be strong. A napalm strike reveals enemies longer and displays their movement directions while aiming the strike. Okay, I thought it was about to give napalm strike UAV capabilities or something. I was tweaking. Or the flames burn longer. Alright, the sentry turret has increased turret rotation for greater coverage or adds the ability to control remotely. I'm probably just going to choose that one. The Hellstorm missile has either an additional cluster or missiles can lock onto score streaks. Ooh, very nice. Next we have the hand cannon, which either gives you more ammo or a dual hand cannons. Bro, if you're running around, that seems like it kind of defeats the purpose of the hand cannon because it's meant to be like a precision weapon, right? So if you're running around with akimboed hand cannons, it'd probably be good like if somebody like calls in a rhino, it'd be nice to have dual hand cannons to be able to run out to and just dump them. Because that is something that I found in like Cold War and Black Ops 6, is I would run the hand cannon not to kill other players, but to take out score streaks really fast, like especially chopper gunners. Hand cannons against chopper gunners are elite. You have the Grave Maker, which is what I call the Grave Mark pistol that we just unlocked all the time. I call it a Grave Maker. Assemble a portable one-hit kill sniper rifle that can reveal and eliminate targets behind cover. This looks like the Lynx, or there was we had it in MW3, the 50 cal like fully auto sniper. It reminds me of that a lot, just how it looks. The first overclock is a larger magazine. The second is reduced charge time before. Oh, so you have to like charge it. Interesting. Next, you have the dog, which will be in the beta. The Grave Maker will also be in the beta. I forgot to look at that. Counter UAV will be in beta. Skewer will be in beta. UAV in beta. RCXD in beta. Scout Pulse in beta. So you can add a sentry mode to the dog, and you also have longer active duration. We've seen that one before. That was the one that they used as an example of the overclock system. Interceptors will deploy without detected threats. So it's more of like a preventative measure. That's kind of nice. Or you can lower the score cost. You have the Watchdog Helo, which will be in beta. Will improve durability against enemy attacks. Or you can direct the Watchdog Helo to guard an area. Probably going to take the durability. Okay, HKDs, which will be in the beta. Aerial payload delivers wheeled hunter kill drones which seek targets and explode. So okay, so this is like, these are wraps just with wheels instead of being a ball. Holy dude, are you telling me we're gonna have swarms and wraps in the same game, dude? Oh no. You can have improved durability or additional GDU drop pods. Bro. Alright, we have a Rhino, which is going to be in beta. Remotely control an armored robotic soldier equipped with a deadly minigun. Okay, so this is, you have to control it, which is nice. Reveals a nearby enemy location on Rhino's minimap, enhanced radar length and duration, or extended runtime for Rhino. Probably would run that one, honestly. The return of the VTOL warship, which will be in the beta. It adds ability to boost in a direction, breaking enemy rocket lock-on, and the increased durability. Being able to boost in a direction to break lock-on, kinda nasty. Return of the Harp as well, which will not be in beta. Deploys flares against incoming lock-on rockets and also a lower score cost. Probably going to take the flares, obviously. The EMP systems, a massive electromagnetic pulse weapon, disrupts enemies and destroys all hostile equipment and vehicles. It has a lower score cost, or it will prevent enemies from using score streaks and field upgrades for a long duration. Ew. Very annoying. And then finally we have Legion, which is a large autonomous drone cluster, patrols the skies, automatically seeing targets and exploding on impact. So yeah, a swarm. Additional sensors allow Legion to target hostile score streaks and field upgrades. That's nice. Or more drone clusters provide extra coverage. Jeez, man. These score streaks seem really powerful. I'm not going to lie to you. Alright, now we can jump into some Omni Movement stuff. So we have the wall jumps, obviously. With additional innovations to Omni Movement, you have an increased choice in your traversal capabilities. The image above shows a few examples of locations within multiplayer environments where walls or other vertical sections can be optionally leapt to, then from, to rapidly maneuver across a section of a map, often to gain height. Wall jumps can be chained together up to 3 times, but with a loss of inertia each time to keep the momentum balanced. Expect to use wall jumps to reach higher vantage points, leap over dangerous gaps in a map, or to find different routes to take. You can perfect your wall jumps in the training. Okay. Optional tack sprint. Thank goodness. Grenade body shield finisher. The body shield mechanic introduced into Black Ops 6 as entertaining as it is practical, allowing you to grab an opponent from behind and drag them around the map, using them to block incoming fire. Usually this ended with the opponent's demise or you letting the enemy go. For Black Ops 7, there's an additional tactical way to finish your foe courtesy of a well-timed grenade. Once you have your adversary locked into a body shield, you can jam a grenade onto them and shove them forward. They'll stagger for a few seconds before the grenade detonates, and other enemies can be caught in the explosion, and you can home the timing with this explosive technique in training, okay? I was kind of hoping that they would expand on this. Like, do you need an actual grenade to be able to do this? Do you need to be running a sticky grenade to do this? And will it use that grenade charge, or is it just you can do it no matter what? Alrighty, now they have some info on operators. We have JSOC and the Guild, which are our two factions. Okay, so these are your operators. It doesn't really tell you if they're in JSOC or in the Guild. It just kind of shows them. I mean, they all look really sick, honestly. So 50-50 will be playable in the beta, and then Falconer will be playable in the beta. And then you also have like the zombies operators, as well as Anderson, Grimm, and Harper, who's like the pre-order guy. Then we'll have Gerardo, Kagan, and Mason, who will be playable in the beta. You also have Karma and Reaper, who are the pre-order, and then Maya and Nikolai, who are zombies, and then you have Razor. And then Vermac will be in the beta, Wei Lin will be in the beta, and Zaveri will be. Zaveri is the one that I said looked like the Sparrow or whatever. Will also be playable in the beta. And then Ted, who's a pre-order character, and then Takeo and Rick Duffin, who are obviously zombies, as well as Samuels, who has the skin from Black Ops 6, the level 1000 skin, who will also be his own operator in this game. Classic Prestige returning, as well as Weapon Prestige. So we already know that we'll get XP in multiplayer, co-op campaign, zombies, Dead Ops Arcade, and Warzone at Season 1. So it seems like it works pretty much the same. You'll enter Prestige Master, which is the same. Prestige themes will continually escalate beyond traditional definitions in later Prestiges to cover elements within the Black Ops 7 narrative. Interesting. Okay, I was wondering what they were going to do for these like Prestige themes, because I really liked how they did them in Black Ops 6, and I'm happy that they're continuing that. I expect a deeper Black Ops 7 Prestige system for the dedicated player who makes it to Prestige Master. In addition to ultimate rewards like the operator skins and weapon blueprints, expect additional Prestige Master titles and colors at regular intervals throughout your level 1000 grind to further showcase your prowess. Alright, nice. I'm hoping that they'll have something different for like the Master Prestige icons. I'm also hoping they bring back the Prestige shop from Cold War. But now we can get into Weapon Prestige. So that returns in Black Ops 7 for the first time since Black Ops 4. You will have 2 Weapon Prestige levels followed by Prestige Master, which goes up to 250. Weapon Prestige 1 activates the following effects. You'll have level and attachment reset, but you'll get Weapon Prestige 1 unlocks, which will give you a unique Prestige attachment that's different for every weapon. The choice to unlock one of your weapon's attachments permanently, nice. A unique weapon camo that can be equipped to that weapon or any other weapon. And then a prestige build is automatically created for the weapon you just prestiged, with the prestige and permanently unlocked attachments applied to it, as well as the weapon camo. Pretty nice, honestly. That's like a nice quality of life thing. Your weapon receives a prestige icon next to it, which changes as you progress and is shown in the kill cam. At this point, you can level up your weapon again, just as you did before, and once it reaches max level, you can optionally enter Weapon Prestige 2. So that will unlock another permanent unlock for an attachment, a weapon-specific charm, a second unique weapon camo that can be equipped to that weapon or any other weapon. Hit Weapon Prestige 2, and you can level up your weapon one more time before you finally and automatically enter Weapon Prestige Mastery. So with Weapon Prestige Mastery, you unlock all attachments for your weapon. They're now permanently unlocked. Your weapon's level remains at the number it was previously, but continues all the way to 250. This final leveling occurs at a faster rate than before. Okay, that's nice. Expect additional XP rewards and weapon camos at levels 100, 150, and 200. Very nice. So there's a total of like weapon prestige 1, weapon prestige 2, 100, 150, 200, and then I'm assuming there's a final camo. Yeah, so there's 6 additional weapon camos if you go through the weapon prestige system for every single weapon. The 250 camos being returning fan favorites. Very interesting. I wonder what they have in store for those. Who knows? Maybe I'll be grinding weapon prestige all year. Weapon prestige offers a deep progression with each weapon, virtually no more wasted XP, and double quick progression if you utilize any double weapon XP tokens throughout the grind. All right, career and weapon camos. Ooh, are we gonna get into the camo grind stuff? So we'll have calling card challenges, daily challenge reroll, and weekly, which we have weapon camos obviously and more. All right, so with the calling card challenges, pretty standard. Complete the challenge, earn a calling card, and then you'll have 100%er calling cards. You can reroll daily challenges, and there will also now be weekly challenges. Starting in Season 1, the weekly challenges will feature a new piece of unlockable loadout content week after week in the post-launch seasons, including weapons, attachments, and score streaks. Complete any 6 of a week's challenges across all 4 modes, so they're including co-op campaign in this, to unlock that week's new loadout item. Additionally, earn 2 camos per season by earning half and all of the available weekly challenge rewards. So bringing that forward from MW3, thankfully, I mean, there's stuff to grind every single week. Will just keep players coming back over and over again. Very, very nice, especially having camos attached to that. For the weapon camos, it will feature more ways than ever to earn camos, and multiplayer is just part of the journey. Each weapon features multiple camos to unlock through completing certain challenges, starting with the military camos before moving on to special mastery camos. So it sounds like it'll be similar to Black Ops 6. I'm really hoping they tune down those military camos though, because that honestly was the most annoying part of the camo grind. Like just sitting there getting headshots all the time, it's not that engaging or fun in my opinion. But within the challenges menu, you can track the camo challenge progress for every weapon. You can view those that are near completion as well. So weapon camos overview. Let's go, baby. For the first time ever in Call of Duty, campaign will have a weapon camo journey. This means you can earn and unlock weapon camos across co-op campaign, multiplayer zombies, and Warzone. This means every one of the 30 launch weapons has a total of 16 weapon camos to unlock. There are 9 military camos. There are 3 special camos, 4 mastery camos, and there are 16 different mastery camos across all 4 modes, as well as the 6 prestige camos. Like, holy, there's going to be so many camos. All right, so the weapon camo updates and improvements, which are guided by development, observations, and community feedback. Expect a host of improvements to the weapon camo grind, and here's some that we can reveal. So, fewer headshots and better camo pacing. Yes! Yes! Players now only need 80 headshots per weapon to complete all 9 military camos, and the pacing of camo unlocks is more consistent as you progress. So you earn your first camo after 5, and then every 10 headshots after that. So you have 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. I mean, 80... It's a little better. I was hoping that it would go down to like 75 max. I was really looking for 50 if I'm being honest. But, I'll take the reduction, I guess. Instead of requiring headshots, shotguns will now require point blanks, and snipers will now require one-shot kills. Sick. Yes. Alright, you know what? Fuck it. I'm on board with 80 now. As long as I don't have to do those headshots for shotguns and snipers again. Yes. Thank you. And then special camos, there will be 3 special camos per weapon instead of 2. Okay, I'm down with that. I liked all the special camo challenges, honestly. Like there were some that were pretty annoying, especially in the Warzone. But I'm totally down with adding another special. Special camos are now the same per weapon and can only be equipped to that weapon once unlocked, like the military camos. Special camos are now the same per weapon. So does that mean there's only 3 special camo challenges like in the entire game, or does it mean like for every weapon category? Because if all the special camos are the exact same, I don't like that because that really reduces the variety. I don't know, maybe I'm not understanding this correctly. Let me know down below how you interpret this, but they're now the same per weapon. not a fan of that if it means what I think it means. Universal camos can be equipped to any weapon. The previous requirement of having to unlock 5 military camos on the weapon before equipping a universal camo has been removed. W, thank you. Because, dude, that pre-order camo that you get, I forget what it's called, but that is a sick camo. And I'm smacking that thing on instantly as soon as the game drops for every weapon. Warzone Camo Go challenges. The Treyarch and Raven teams have monitored and reevaluated more difficult and frustrating camo challenges. You can expect Warzone camo challenges in Season 1 that are more reasonable to complete. Alright, sick. I'm all for that. Like, the ones where you have to get killed under enemy UAV, so annoying. The way that they changed it is much better. But like on launch where you had to kill the player that had the UAV active, disgusting behavior. And then there's also camo hub and tracking, which I hope they fix that because like my zombies camo tracking in Black Ops 6 is bugged. For whatever reason, after I completed a weapon in zombies, it automatically went to go track like the multiplayer or the Warzone camo for it. And I can't remove that. So I can't track any new weapons and zombies, and it's really annoying. I'm not gonna lie to you. In addition to the core camo grind, there'll be many additional ways to unlock unique universal camos in Black Ops 7 through weapon prestige, weekly challenges, seasonal events, and then redacted reach classified to unlock the classified master. Ooh, is there a prestige master mastery camo? Holy fuck, am I gonna have to grind to level 1000 this year? Oh, I'm so conflicted because I already know I'm gonna be hardcore addicted to Arc Raiders too. But I want that so bad. But also, like, so I don't know if this was confirmed or just a rumor, but if MW4 is a hard reset, which means that like none of this is carrying forward into like Warzone, for example, next year, then like part of me is stuck because like what's the point then for some of this stuff? Like obviously for you know, doing the camo grind for Black Ops 7, that's obviously to have that stuff in Black Ops 7. But I'm more so talking about like the prestige master stuff. Like if that doesn't carry forward and it takes you the entire game to reach level 1000, you only get to use it for such a short amount of time. So I just don't know that that's worth it. I'll still probably try and do it, especially if that is, you know, a prestige mastery camo, but we'll see. And the mastery badges are returning. Seems like it's the exact same as Black Ops 6. You do get an animated calling card now. I don't remember if you got that in Black Ops 6, but animated calling card for unlocking diamond, so that's nice. Statistics and profile pretty much all the same. COD Next beta dates and more. So COD Next is next Tuesday, a week from today. And then the beta starts that's next week as well on Thursday, 10 a.m. Pacific time. It will run consecutively and will conclude on Wednesday at 10 a.m. on Wednesday. So you pretty much have until Tuesday to play. All right. Holy shit, what a blog. And there's still like this is just multiplayer too. There's still the zombies one to come. Honestly, this all looks so good. I'm so excited to hop on the grind. I'm thinking this year I'm gonna stream the entire camo grind and then like use it to make YouTube videos and stuff. I also need to get better at making TikToks. But so if that is something that you're interested in, I'll be streaming on Twitch. For the beta, I'm thinking about trying to stream on TikTok for the first time, just see how it is. Those links for TikTok and Twitch are down in the description below if you're interested and want to check it out. With the amount of detail that we got in this one, it makes me really excited for the zombies one coming in a couple days. So don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss that either. I appreciate y'all sticking around for it, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.